Hello, Leeds United fans. I hope you're doing exceptionally well. I mean, fantastically well, of course I do. Make sure you are liking the content. Make sure you're subscribing as always. And make sure you are following our Patreon. If you fancy some bonus content, there'll be some more bonus content over there. Some more Generation Leeds. Later on this week, we're going to have some more additional transfer bits over there. If you like your bonus content for Leeds United as well, make sure you check out the TikTok. We're thriving over there. Excuse me, make sure you do that on this lovely Monday morning. How are we all doing today? Let me know on the Monday Blues. What did you get up to this weekend? Was it enthralling? Was it boring? Please let me know in the comment section below. We will have the debrief coming toward you very, very soon as well. But straight away, let's kick you off with the rumour mill. According to multiple sources this morning, many are stating that apparently Leeds United defender Pascal Struijk is massively unlikely to be leaving the club in the January window, despite reports claiming that he's itching for an exit. Obviously, this is after Club Bruges and Leeds United were linked in transfer talks over the central defender. I think that's going to be that will be a massive issue for Leeds United, but Sasha Tavaroli was saying last week that apparently Leeds are bracing themselves for a bid from Club Bruges for around 13.1 million. But multiple reports this morning, including that of the Standard, are saying that he will not be losing that. The YEP have also shut down claims that Leeds could be set to lose their key defender on a cut price deal, pointing to the fact that Struijk could be named captain on the team sheet, or has been named captain on the team sheet for Leeds United, and has been integral to Farke's plans. The interesting one for me, this window is going to be Joe Gelhardt. What is going to happen with him? Charlie Cresswell, what is going to happen with him? We're speaking about youth all the time when it comes to Leeds United, but these two, they're getting to that point in the career now where they need game time, they need minutes, they need to be thinking about their career. Their career at this moment in time is not with Leeds United, and that makes a lot of people a little bit disillusioned when it comes to Charlie Cresswell, because a lot of people think that he has got a massive future at Leeds, especially after that West Ham United game where he did really well against Antonio. But since then, it's been a real difficult point for him, and I think he's really struggled to really get in at LUFC. And Joe Gelhardt, I mean, since the arrival of Joel Perreault and Gigi Rutter, as Oscar likes to coin his name, have just been impossible to drop, haven't they? So there's no chance he's going to be getting in there whatsoever. So that's going to be a fascinating thing to keep an eye on. Willy Gnonto, as you can see by the thumbnail, Lazio apparently are looking at a loan to buy for the Italian winger this January. That would make a lot of sense for Leeds United. It's not an obligation, but Leeds could definitely have a stipulation in there, essentially saying that, look, you can have him on loan for 6 months, and then we can say whether or not we want him to go, whether or not we want him to stay on, or whether or not we want to look at other bids. But a Lazio loan move makes a lot of sense. I think a loan move for Willy would make a lot of sense. He's still Leeds United's asset. Come the summer months, he's going to come back. Leeds could get more money for him. He could rip it up in Serie A, which we all know he will do. Lazio will be good exposure for him at the top level, and also his World Cup hopes are going to increase. I don't want Willy Gnonto to go. I think the depth that we've got there with Willy is going to be imperative. I think the quality that he possesses is staggering at the Championship level, the second tier level, and I think that's something that's got to be taken into consideration. But can you keep someone like him in the Championship, A, which we managed to do, but B, can you keep him in the Championship on the bench? That's massive. That is massive if Willy Gnonto is gonna remain on the bench, because I think we know that his World Cup hopes will be completely diminished. So that will be a huge concern to him, a huge concern to his agent, and probably a huge concern to the Italian national team. So it's what outweighs what here. Do the needs of Leeds United, who are the owner of this player, they he's under contract. Do Leeds United value Willy Gnonto's World Cup hopes? Because under Daniel Farke, in my opinion, I think Daniel James is going to get a lot more minutes than Willy Gnonto. Then the argument is, well, should he be forcing Daniel Farke's hand by putting in better performances in training? Yes, but maybe Daniel Farke just prefers Dan James in terms of work ethic, in terms of his finishing right now, and ultimately form. After we were speaking last week about Archie Gray and Liverpool and Dortmund, the £40 million acquisition, there is another Leeds United superstar coming through the ranks at this moment in time who is impressing for the under 18s and will be vying for a first team spot at some point. It's 16-year-old Harvey Vincent. In 2007, He was born, he can operate on the left, he can operate on the right. He caught the eye as a 15-year-old operating in the under-18 last term. Despite playing an age higher, he didn't look out of place, scoring 3 goals and supplying 1 assist last season. There's been a lot written about him as well. If you're looking at, Elite Scholars, which is a really good Twitter page. Once again, this is the thing with Leeds. We've spoken about Harry Gray, we've spoken about Archie Gray, we've spoken about Charlie Crew, we've spoken about Finlay Gorman, all these players. We've spoken about Harvey Vincent now. The product line at Leeds is very, very good. The academy is very, very good. The area is massive that Leeds can choose from, and obviously they'll have scouts in different countries, in different part of this country as well. But in and around Leeds, it's very, very profitable with the talent that is in and around the surrounding area. So Leeds. I think that there has to be a plan of how to keep hold of these youngsters and maybe show them. There's a big emphasis on actually developing Archie Gray and keeping Archie Gray, because then what Archie Gray does is he's an example for all the other youngsters. You look at Archie Gray. He stayed with us. He's a case study, and look where he is now. Playing in the first team. Archie stays with us until the summer months. And then or whatever the year afterwards, and he can go and play at a different level if he wants to. But then Archie Gray becomes a case study for all of these other youngsters like Harvey Vincent, like Harry Gray, Charlie Crew. And that's what Leeds need right now. We need another version of Calvin Phillips, because that needs to be revitalised all the time in terms of role models. And Calvin's been away from Leeds for a fair bit of time now. So Leeds need another role model, and Archie could be that role model. So it's so important for Leeds to not only keep hold of Archie Gray, but for that reason as well, because he's an example to all of the youngsters, because all of these other clubs will have numerous examples of potentially youngsters getting into their first team, but other reasons for coming to that club. And Leeds can strike a pathway chat with a lot of these youngsters by using Archie Gray as the guy who's at the top there, really. We were speaking about Willie Gnonto earlier, and apparently Tottenham may have the opportunity to strike a swap deal with Leeds that would solve problems with Ange Postecoglou, because obviously they've got a mass state of injuries at this moment in time, Spurs, but reports suggest there could be a deal struck with Leeds United, Willie Gnonto and Joe Rodon, obviously, who is currently on loan until the end of the season. He's been farmed out on loan over the past couple of seasons, hasn't he, Joe Rodon, and failed to earn a permanent switch to Rennes last season. His stint with Leeds has definitely looked more promising, and I think he is going to be keen to come to Leeds in the long term, to be honest with you. But obviously with Spurs valuing him at 20 million that we heard not long ago, and Rodon's contract set to expire in the summer of 2025, it could allow Leeds to essentially force the hand, and it is unlikely that Leeds would pay such a fee. But maybe a marriage of convenience could happen between both clubs, with Willie Gnonto being part of a deal as well. That's something that a lot of Leeds United fans would welcome. If it is festering a move for someone like Joe Rodon, I think you'd be very happy with that. But Willie Gnonto, I do think it's been criminally underrated, maybe by some fans, on how important he is. So it's going to be fascinating to see how that one develops. But Max Verber has also come out and said Leeds are doing well at the minute. Interesting to hear from Max. He says that Leeds does it very well. They play really cool football. It's fun to watch. If they continue like this, everything looks like they're going up. Then the whole thing is not really in my hands. Interesting. We've heard from Brendan Aronson. We've heard from Max Verber. Others have been quiet. But yeah, some of the deserters are saying things now, aren't they? They're all coming out and talking a little bit when Leeds' fortunes have turned around a little bit, which you do find very, very interesting. Let us know what you think on that in the comment section below. But guys, that's going to be it for you this month. Hope you've enjoyed this version of the Room. Let me know exactly what you think on all the topics we've spoken about. We're going to be back tomorrow. We might even be back later on this evening, but it's likely going to be tomorrow. But if something springs up, we'll definitely do a live stream. But guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in a bit.